Hello, Tauruses, and welcome to your June 2025 reading. So, this month we have the solar solstice, which is going to be the sun expanding to its maximum. We can use that energy to do the same thing. So, always look out to how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're emanating on the solstice, because we're using that wave to expand ourselves also. We also have a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the house of belief. And so what that moon is going to do is going to bring up from the depths of your waters your true belief, so you can expand it, so you can understand it or readjust it, and so on. And at the end of the month, around the 25th, we are going to have the new moon in Cancer, which great opportunity to plant the seeds of our future emotional security and things that we will want to see flourish at that point in 6 months. So, as you come in the month, Taurus, you are at the position of the Lovers in reverse. The Lovers in reverse, this is when we haven't taken a decision. We need to make a decision, but we haven't taken it. And part of the reason why could be that here your fire is not receptive. We do have Saturn that entered Aries. Saturn, the father with the lessons and so on. And so if there's a part of you that is actually blocking beneficial things to come to you, no matter what it is, here it's possible that you feel it even more and that you have to make a decision about this. You have to pull a judgment. You have to unstuck the situation. Before we make a decision, there's always pressure until we make a decision. Whether it is to start a project or a decision about who we are and what we're validating, what we're investing in, or whatever, the pressure is going to be there as long as we haven't taken the decision. And if there's a part of us that, but I don't see how it could come, then we need that extra faith, belief of investing before we can see the result. That is a bit what the 9th house and Sagittarius is actually asking. That's what Jupiter asks. To have faith. He's going to expand what you have faith in. So maybe this is part of it. When that full moon will arrive, that brings up anxiety, brings up things like, how is it gonna happen? How can I make it happen? Here I have your masculine that's upright, but things are not moving forward. That's the 8 of Pentacles. If it would be upright, things would be happening by themselves. You're investing, it's growing, but it's not. And you have everything that you need to actually make it happen. Why isn't it happening? And it's creating anxiety. There's your beliefs coming up to the surface from the night. At the end of the month, I have the Knight of Cups and I have the Judgment in reverse. So it's almost like there's this movement that's going to happen. We're going to see when we clarify. But that allows you movement forward following your heart. But everything that the moon brought up to the surface and then entering Cancer season is going to bring up to the surface also. There it is. You're going to have to address. And I think you're going to do it because here, under that, I have the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Wands. So there's the restoration of your fire. That, maybe that Saturn in Aries is finally going to give you the resolve or the understanding to put energy either through a decision, through an inspiration, but also to allow things to happen. You're going to have a certain clarity, here, and the opportunity to finally plant what wasn't coming. Bottom of the deck, I have the Hangman. So it's all a question of looking at this from a different angle. So instead of like this, it would be nice like this. So that you can release what is no longer needed. So let's clarify this for you, Taurus. In order to clarify, I have a new deck that I received by the mail from a friend. Here, Willow White Raven made this Mademoiselle Dauphin Sea Witch Tarot. And you can find her, Belle Bear, you can find her on Spiritual Mechanics online. It's a blog, beautiful interviews and things like that. So go and check that out. We had a conversation on one of her blogs. So this is the deck. It's a beautiful deck. And so there we go. We're going to use that to clarify. All right. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Taurus for the month of June 2025. Taurus for the month of June 2025. June 2025. Okay. Let's look at the Lovers. Why is the Lovers in reverse? Ooh, okay. The Lovers is in reverse because the Sun is in reverse. And here we have the King of Swords. So this is part of how you think. We have the Four of Swords. So still healing, still trying to make sense of the past hurts and things like that. And we have the Pope. I have 3 eyes, 2 to see, 2 to look, 1 to see. So, but the Sun is in reverse. And the Sun is what is bringing us energy, is bringing us expansion. I was talking about expansion this month. So when it's in reverse, we have a hard time emanating, bringing our expansion. It will show us the shadows more than the light, even though the Sun is always positive. But when we notice more the shadows than the light, it is making things harder. So here it's affecting your mind, your capacity to say, okay, we're doing this, or we're over. This is what we're choosing to bless or to banish, or this is our truth. This is what you need to make a decision about. What's my truth? Because this is what is going to is what is going to choose what is actually coming towards you. It is going to be what you believe, what your truth is. King of Swords. So 5, 6, 7, 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands, this is really when we're on the defensive. And the 7 of Cups, because we're having projections. So we're blocking the energy, not seeing how it can come towards us. This is blocked also. But energetic, because we're on the defensive. Because we have waters that we haven't healed. 7 of Cups. We're still projecting our wounds and things like that. What is my truth? My wounds or who I am? So, oh, I stayed there. They stayed there. 9 of swords, your anxiety. Well, your anxiety comes from, because you haven't made the choice yet on what you feed on. 10 of Cups. What is your truth? What you've experienced until now emotionally. I have the Fool, but I have the Magician in reverse. So it's like, I'm willing to jump in the thing, but how is it going to happen? How is it going to work? I'm expecting the worst. Not I'm manifesting what I want to manifest. Then I would be Magician upright. But I'm expecting the worst, and I'm jumping anyway. That's why you have anxiety. Because you're going in a complete, I have nothing to back me up. So it's important to make that decision of, who am I? Who am I? All right. So, 3 of Swords. Am I the conclusions I drew from my wounds and disappointments and heartaches? Prince d'épée. That's the Prince of Sword. That's the Page of Sword. You've got an idea about it. He's holding an Ace of Sword in his hands. That will be 1 plus 4. That's plus 3 is 4. Allowing you the capacity to heal. 4 of Swords. To actually heal. But all these times that I wasn't able to invest in whatever it is. Invest in what I love. Invest in a relationship. Invest in, something that it would be more than just floating in the air. So I can ground it, Pope. So the judgment, what is going to happen is that whatever parts of you that are unresolved are going to come up to the surface. So the parts that are sad, 9 of Cups in reverse. The parts that unconsciously you feed on, those sadnesses and those things like that. You're going to have to, 6 of Swords, forgive them. Turn the page. Become in peace with this. Pull yourself away from the emotional turmoil so you can make a clear decision out of wisdom, out of a balanced heart. And here, the Knight of Swords, you're getting it. So, yeah, it's asking of you to, you're going to have to forgive abandonment and leave it behind. And the pain that came with it, 8 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. So, 8 of Cups. This is when we leave behind our sorrows, our wounds of abandonment, of not being enough, of not being chosen, of all of those things. We need to leave behind that emotional thing. We need to sacrifice it. That's the 12th house. We need to look at it from a different angle and say, I'm sacrificing this. And then all of a sudden, I have power. All of a sudden, I choose what I desire. I do not wait to be chosen. I choose what I want. I do not wait for things to happen even though I'm not seeing how they could happen. I'm making them happen. Magician upright. So, all month, it's going to be, if you feel pressure, if you feel, this is not a great month, it's just because you haven't made that decision yet. You haven't made the forgiving, the turning the page that you need to do. And when I talk about forgiving, I talk about it often. It's not that, I forgive you from abandoning me. Now you're pure and you haven't done anything wrong. This is not how things work. It's more, I'm releasing the emotional pain of it so I stop paying for it. So it's not mine anymore. I'm giving it back. I'm giving back the emotional pain so I can start experiencing a different truth. So I'm going to call this a different truth. Because ultimately this is where you end up. And that's what we want. All right? So on this, my beautiful Tauruses, if you want a private reading, you go on mysticwitchtarot.com, and on there you have all the different readings. You have access to the tarot course if you want. You have access to the tarot book that talks about tarot and the tree of life that I wrote. All sorts of things. Also, thank you for the ones of you who gave donations. It helps more than you think. And on the new moon and the full moon, I ask the divine to give you back in the shape that is the most beneficial for you. And thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, and please subscribe to help grow the channel. And on this, I'm sending you all my love and light. And I'll see you next month. All right? Bye-bye. Oh, I lost my arrow. Ah, there it is.